Top of the morning to you. We had consolidation to start the day with some gap down opens into hourly oversold conditions. But when the Fed showed up, the bulls really got going into the end of the day. Is that enough to set up our daily trend changes? Are the bulls back in full control? Let's check it out on me charts and I'll let you know what I think. So we ended the day yesterday. There's no chance I can keep that voice up. We ended the day yesterday with me saying that I am only looking bearish as long as we are not consolidating on the daily time frame yet. And then overnight, the daily consolidation started. I had a bit of a bear lean on my holdings in my overnight positions. And we had gap down opens shaping up and hourly oversold conditions. So NIO, Tesla, APHA, all the names that I love to day trade that are trading based off of QQQ were gapping down into hourly oversold conditions while looking for daily higher lows. So that's definitely a buy the dip scenario. But we knew that that bounce was only going to be looking for hourly lower highs. We got both of those scenarios. Morning bounce, hourly lower high set. From there, it was all about the Fed. And as soon as the bullish reaction happened to the Fed, and not just the initial bullish reaction, I need that 5-minute trend change continuation. Doesn't have to be a 5-minute trend change, but just top out, see a pullback, and then see continuation. Because so many times when you react to the Fed, you get a very quick move in one direction, and then you give it all back and you go in the complete opposite direction. So it was a big bull move in the reaction, but I wasn't believing that move. As soon as you set a 5-minute higher low and then see increasing bull volume and confirm a higher high, then I believe the bulls. So that was very convincing. And it was a bullish reaction in the Fed to metals, crypto, and stocks. And the dollar went down. So all of our assets going up and the dollar going down. And we now have the bulls really confident in this current setup. So could this be our daily higher lows very quickly being set? Absolutely. It's possible to be little daily bull flags in response to the FOMC. What I am watching tonight into tomorrow, which is most important for me, is this Nasdaq futures chart double top. Because we did not break the high here. We rejected right under it. And what the bulls really want to see into tomorrow, ideally tonight with a gap up open, but either way, we need an hourly higher low and a break of that level. If we do not break that double top of resistance, the bulls can't have short-term confidence in continuation. The S&P 500 hit all-time highs in reaction to the FOMC, so they're certainly keeping control. Wasn't a very convincing break there either, but what today gives me is a new line in the sand level, the lows of today. If the lows of today break bearish after this kind of a bullish reaction to the Fed, it's a red flag for the bulls in the short term. So what the Fed reaction does for me is puts the burden of proof back on the bears. And now I'm saying, hey, bears, if you want to prove anything to me, you must break the lows of today. Whether it's an individual name or an individual sector or a market as a whole, you have to break the lows of today. If the lows of today do not break over the next few days, the bulls have it. So for SPY, that's at 393.30. We're looking up at 400 psychological. For QQQ, that's down at the low of today, 315.68. And the Fed definitely playing a part here in terms of me pivoting my direction quickly. So cautiously pivoting. Again, all I'm doing is day trading in whatever direction the market gives me on a daily basis. I don't care what direction that is, but I do have some exposure in my swing positions and I have to protect those. So I either protect those by having a short on that offsets all of my long exposure or having less of a short on and more long exposure. So today on that bullish reaction, I started to shift back towards the long side. If we break the lows of today on SPY and QQQ, I'll switch back to the short side. The best part about not falling in love with a team is you can jump on any team you want whenever you want. IWM, is this a daily bull flag? It sure looks like it. And again, we're judging our retracement size and it is well above the 382, which means bull flag is possibly in play. The hourly needs to confirm a trend change with a higher low and higher high. This move was again a gap down open, hourly oversold conditions, and a big time bounce from hourly oversold conditions thanks to the Fed help. If we break the high of today tomorrow, daily higher low 227.36, all-time high to 34.53, right back in play. Energy sector, weekly, could it be a bull flag? It absolutely could. Oil is still in a daily uptrend, as we will see. And as of right now, the loss of the daily higher lows is not getting bear follow through. Oil would have to lose the daily uptrend if the energy sector is going to get any notable follow through, in my opinion. Financial sector still in a daily uptrend as well. Anything above 33.52 was a daily higher low. So I'm looking at 33.94, but it's a scenario where we didn't change the hourly trend. I take that back. We did at the end of the day. So we did change the hourly trend bullish. So that does mean that the daily higher low of 33.94 does matter to me. And if that level breaks, weekly consolidation begins for the first time in 6-7 weeks in the financial sector. So again, the lows of today, well, that's the low of yesterday. But for the most part, lows of today are the key support level for me. Healthcare, higher low every single day. That pattern broke today. And bulls hoping for a daily bull flag and brief consolidation. I'm watching the hourly, again a bit choppy, but a bullish reaction from the Fed. And if we break the high of today tomorrow, we'll be looking right at the high of the bounce, 115.72, and it will be a little daily bull flag. Keep in mind there's a lot of individual names out there where we are now looking for a weekly lower high. So let's just look at Tesla and NIO real quick. So NIO, daily higher low, certainly looking set. Bulls bought the gap down open in hourly oversold conditions beautifully. Tweeted about that setup this morning pre-market. Follow me on Twitter. We've got a resistance level of 46.29. If that breaks, the daily trend change is confirmed. But daily trend change on many names doesn't mean bulls win. It means bulls win in the short term. But keep in mind, on a name like NIO, we are just looking for a weekly lower high. Anything under 64.60 is a weekly lower high. What the bulls will then be hoping for is a big enough bounce to shape up a weekly trend change. It's one time frame at a time, which is why your strongest trends are when you're in monthly, weekly, and daily uptrends or downtrends, when every time frame is aligned. Because otherwise, you get some choppy action in the sense that you're looking at NIO and you're watching, can the daily trend change? And when you finally change the trend back to the bulls, you're just looking for a lower high on the weekly. So there's conflicting, directional, most likely scenarios based on the different time frames. So we do the opposite fibs. I showed you fib consolidation, what you want to see. So now if I'm a bull on NIO, I'm looking in the other direction on the fibs, and I need to see a big enough bounce to get back to the 50% retracement and beyond if we're going to set up an equilibrium as the most likely scenario. If we bounce and we don't break the 382, which we already have, but if we didn't break the 382 retracement, a bear flag would remain on the table. If we get to the 50% and beyond, we start looking for the equilibrium to be the most likely scenario. And Tesla's the same thing. If we change the daily trend, good sign for the bulls, great. Shift in momentum, got to get over 718, but we just zoom out and know that a weekly lower high is the most likely scenario from there. Biotech sector, daily bull flag, absolutely possible. 149.24 needs to break to confirm it, and then we zoom out and scout a weekly lower high, anything under 174.79. And again, it will require a weekly trend change back to the bulls to be looking back at all-time highs on some of these names. Semiconductors, gap down open. Did we get to hourly oversold? Not quite. But the bulls responding well, breaking the high of yesterday, zooming out. Anything under the all-time high is a weekly lower high. Can we V-shape to a higher high on names that didn't pull back as significantly? Yes, that's possible. And QQQ is one of those names. We've seen SPY V-shape to higher highs plenty of times when we would normally, if you show me this chart and you don't tell me it's SPY, back here, I would tell you a lower high is the most likely scenario. But SPY has shown us over the last 5 years, time and time and time again, that it can V-shape, so I'm not ruling that out on QQQ either. And this is QQQ that we're looking at. But it is possible to just V-shape to a higher high. But again, a name like NIO or Tesla, percentage-wise, having so much more ground to cover, a weekly lower high is more likely. Solar sector, daily higher low trying to form. have to break 99.16 to confirm the daily trend change. And again, on any of these names, Tesla, NIO, whoever, if we break the lows of today in the near term, it's a red flag. This is our new benchmark level after a significant Fed bull response. MSOS, I added some position today. We've got a vote coming in the House for a Safe Banking Act. Needs to go to the Senate and get voted through the Senate, but a little daily bull flag, bullish reaction to green thumb earnings after hours. If the bulls break 48.70, which is being tested after hours, pulling back now, but 48.70 is in play. If we break it, the daily bull flag is confirmed, and we zoom out to be watching for the potential of a weekly lower high or a new all-time high, but we would need notable bull volume if we're going to V-shape to an all-time high. In the absence of notable bull volume, I will be watching for a weekly lower high and tightening range to be the more likely scenario. And it also depends on these headlines. The sector has been very responsive to headlines in the short term. Here's the dollar doing exactly what the bulls of assets want to see. Not breaking just yet, but if 91.36 breaks, we confirm the daily downtrend. What does that mean? We zoom out and scout a weekly higher low. Anything above 89.68 is a weekly higher low. The best case scenario for gold, silver, Bitcoin, stocks is for a monthly lower high to be set on the dollar. Losing the daily uptrend is step number one, but we have to lose the weekly higher lows in order to be confident that a monthly lower high is being set. So step number one, can the bears break this support and confirm the daily downtrend? Gold, daily trend change bullish. Higher low, higher high. I added to my gold and silver positions today in my IRA, and this move is convincing enough that I am now putting a stop loss under all of my metals positions under these current lows. If we were to fade back down after this daily oversold bounce back to a lower low, that is a huge red flag for me. And I don't want any metals positions aside from physical if that were to happen. So I added to those positions, and it's an acceptable risk knowing that my stop losses are concrete now. My stop loss was not concrete when we were in daily oversold conditions because there is no chance I'm going to stop out when I would normally be buying. And again, just the fact that they were smaller swing positions allowed me the wiggle room to be a bit more lenient on my stop level. But I'm no longer lenient on my stop level. It is concrete down under this low with a wee bit of wiggle room, but not much. And again, daily trend change means zoom out and scout a weekly lower high. And it's now up to the bulls to confirm a weekly trend change into spring and summer if we're going to believe that the bear market over the last 6 months for the metals is coming to a conclusion. Silver, daily trend change, not convincing follow through. Weekly time frame, anything under 28.33, just a weekly lower high, but the monthly chart is much more bullish than gold. Monthly uptrend easily intact, and I am much more confident holding my silver position than I am on gold because of this monthly chart. It's a very different monthly chart on gold. Miners, bull follow through, so this was the falling wedge. Came back, almost back tested previous resistance, now support, but getting follow through. And the same thing, now we zoom out and scout a weekly lower high, and the bulls into April and May must confirm the weekly trend change to shift longer term momentum. When's the last time we've seen a weekly higher low and higher high on the miners? It's been a long time. And it's not going to happen overnight. This is going to take weeks to try and play out. Ideally, another week or two of bull move, then a week or two of pullback, then a week or two of follow through, if the bulls can prove it. Oil still maintaining the daily higher lows after the inventory reaction. 63.13 key support. Still in a tightening daily range. And bulls would love to break 66.40 to keep the daily higher lows going. If we break 63.13, we zoom out and scout a weekly higher low with lots of space for it to form. Natural gas tried to change the 4-hour trend unsuccessfully. It is a double bottom at this point, but we have to break 260 if the bulls are going to prove anything to us in the short term. If we don't break 260, bears keep their complete control in natural gas, and the shorter term RSI levels just cooled off. So that's where we stand heading into tomorrow. All right. Watch that Nasdaq futures chart. Have to break that double top. If we start the morning red tomorrow and that resistance remains, it keeps the bulls a little bit iffy. If we're over that level convincingly, much more confidence. Have a good rest of your day, do good things, and we'll check in tomorrow.